Libra, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. There's always an extended reading that I invite you to join me for. Those links are below, or you can join my Unbound membership and get full access to all the extended readings whenever you want them for the life of your membership, plus all the other perks. So please do join the Unbound membership. Libra videos come out every single Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. They're weekly. So please remember to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. All 12 videos will be out by Friday every single week. And I also have a second channel, Astrology Motivation, where you can join me Monday through Friday for daily live tarot card readings and live chat. So I welcome you over there too. Venus, I'm going to start with the astrology, which is of course time sensitive, but then I'm going to move on to the reading, and that is not time sensitive, and there's a channeled message there in between that's not time sensitive either. But we'll start with the astrology so we can basically understand the energy that's impacting you now. Venus starts off this week in conjunction with Chiron, which means you're probably dealing with a lot of issues around your body, how you feel about your body. If you've always felt second best when it comes to relationships, or even just in the eyes of whatever sex that you're attracted to, in the eyes of people that you love, always feeling second best or not good enough, and the ways feeling not good enough, or if you've actually had some sort of physical challenges in your life, or physical, like say you have a physical deformity that you were born with, any ways, or just parts of you that you feel are deformed just because they don't live up to the social norm of beauty. All of those would have been things that you were working through, especially through this eclipse, the full moon eclipse. But it can basically lead right up till today, which is Tuesday, or at least Tuesday is when I release this. So you don't begin the week with such with easy astrology, but it is healing you. It's there to help you purge throughout the rest of purge all these feelings about yourself, these insecurities about yourself, realizing that you are loved, that you are good enough. All of those things are the catharsis you will be able to come to by the end of this week. This is not a time for like silly conversations or temporary hookups. Another challenging aspect is that you have a little bit of a rub with Mercury midweek. This sense of maybe not being able to express yourself correct, feeling not heard, or feeling generally judged too much, or not being able to get things done, not being able to articulate yourself correctly, like that. And then you go into a square. You have a little bit of a respite when the moon enters Sagittarius later on this week, where basically you can start to see things from an overview perspective and start to see maybe how beauty abroad is different than beauty here, and changing by reaching outside of your norm. You might actually be able to start perceiving how you could be perceived as beautiful or attractive or valuable, because it's not just about attractiveness, it's about valuable. Like, where am I valuable? Do people value what I have? Broaden your reach broaden your reach of scope. Broadening your scope is going to help you see that there are a lot of different ways that your talents and your skills will be valued and well applied. And then we come to the moon in Capricorn, which Venus is square to, and then she forms a favorable aspect of a sextant to when the moon first enters Capricorn. She's square to the moon, and then the moon moves on a little bit, a day or so later, and she's sextile, not the moon, but Saturn. And when she's sextile to Saturn, there's this wonderful understanding of value and what it is to be valuable, and clarity when it comes to what you value, especially what you value about yourself. None of this is great energy for romance, but it is great energy for getting things done and qualifying what is important to you, as well as helping yourself heal, and maybe even helping others heal those aspects of themselves that they don't feel good enough about. Like it really is about learning how to heal those learning how to heal where you don't feel valued. And coming to terms with that. A lot of it is based on your comfort zone, though. You're comparing it to what you used to be good at, where you used to feel comfortable, used to. You keep looking back, you're going to keep getting bruised as you move forward, because you're going to trip, you're going to fall, you're going to stumble, you may even fall off a fucking cliff. You have to look in the direction that you're going in order to get there as unscathed as possible. Stop comparing yourself to where you were in life, what you were, how people used to see you, if you were comfortable here and now you're in a new space. Well, the new space, of course, is going to open you up to new things. And the new things is a challenge that you want, because it's actually broadening and expanding everything that you are. So Libra, know that, realize that, understand that there could even be some redefining of what you want out of a relationship this week, right? So it becomes more clear. You're starting to value different aspects. You're starting to value different things in a mate. You're starting to see that people can value you in different ways, other than just by saying that you're pretty all the time. A sense of wanting to be valued for more than that will definitely creep up this week. And toward the end of the week, that sextile with Saturn is actually very good. You'll just have a perfect mindset for working out different kinds of business deals, making money, paying down debts. You'll be able to do it. You know, you'll be able to get rid of any kind of restrictions that have been put on you financially. This is a really nice kind of clarity that happens at the end of this week for you astrologically. So let's get into the cards. Libra. 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 Be at home. It's a good time for you to stay grounded and stay where you feel comfortable. This is a good week for you to work on the house and surround yourself with comfort, because there's probably going to be a lot of tumultuousness in yourself. So surround yourself with a place that you feel comfortable, familiar, where you feel beautiful, where you feel useful, or you're going home, a sense of visiting home, going to a place where you feel comfortable, where you're surrounded by people who you know value you. This is a really good time to be around people whose value of you don't question, right? So be at home doesn't necessarily mean where you were born, because that's not where all of us feel valued, right? But ultimately it does mean be around people where you know who you know value you. It's a good reminder. It's also a good crutch. You might need that right now, because your sense of self, your sense of self-value is a little bit wounded. So go back to people who can remind you of your worth. Who be surrounded by people who love you. You might need extra loving and nurturing this week, Libra, which you should absolutely give yourself. If you can actually go home, or stay home and let yourself be comfortable. You don't have to kind of like get up and go all week long. Only during the end of that week are you really going to be kind of driven to get things done, and that has to do with financials. So that doesn't have to do with interpersonal relationships. Be at home, a sense of finding yourself in a place that it's not about comfort, because if it's about comfort, that's going to be shook right now. But it's not about comfort. It's about reminding yourself of your value when you're having a hard time doing it. And not only setting yourself up for personal disappointment when you can't figure it all out yourself. Maybe you're just going to need somebody to remind you, this is where I feel loved. So this is a good week if you can get yourself back home. And then we have, or wherever you consider home. Spirit has a plan. So there's some divine timing in all of this. We just went over the astrology. Spirit has a plan, which means usually there's some higher forces at work or higher decision-making body at work. It could also represent your boss or even the government, or spirit itself. This is also a sense of maybe catharsis coming, because all this eclipse energy really was fulfilling Dharma. This sense of understanding now why you have been put through all that you've been put through. A sense of understanding now, or realizing now, the sort of strategy behind yeah, sort of the spirit has the strategy behind why you grew up where you grew up. And in a way, you're distancing yourself from that so that you can start realizing, I don't need to be this anymore. I don't need to be stuck anymore. This is more that healing, those healing aspects generated mostly during Pisces season. But now it's almost like you can take action on it. You can start to see why this all happened to me. And maybe it all happened to me because I was supposed to believe it. I was just supposed to learn something from it, and ultimately it could have been to not believe it, right? So this is an indicator of there's healing going on. If you grew up with a lot of insecurities when you were a kid, you weren't good enough, you weren't pretty enough, you were awkward, you wouldn't fit in, you were rejected, or you made fun of a lot, especially by family members or growing up around the house. Just that sense of like, how were you valued, and what was your relationship to your value? Maybe you were always being called pretty. Maybe you were expected to always be the pretty one, and that became a pitfall for you that kind of like restricted you from developing other aspects of your character. 11:11. The point is, now you awaken to 11:11. I saw it on the timestamp of the camera. You're now awakening to the value systems that other people taught you about yourself, and how they compare now to how you understand yourself, what you've earned yourself, and resetting your value system based on what you've made of yourself instead of what they have made of you. And then, so it could be for the first time in your life, feeling beautiful. It could be for the first time in your life, realizing I am a good spouse. I could be a good companion. Not listening to what other people told you about yourself. Oh, they only like you for your looks, or you're too ugly to find anyone. Instead of what you were told or given, now it's what I have created, or what I can start creating based on where I am now. You're just starting to realize that not everything that you were told throughout your life was true. It was just somebody else's perspective, and your perspective matters most of all. So what is your perspective on yourself? Sing your own song. And that's where we come to at the foundation of your reading is Canary. So liberation, free, being able to identify toxic things, because that's what canaries used to do. I've told the story on all of my videos. Canaries used to be used to, they would send canaries into mines to see if there was any toxic gases or fumes down there, so that workers wouldn't go in there. So if the canary died, it was basically the sacrificial lamb. If the canary died, they'd know not to send miners down there. So ultimately, it's just like identifying toxicity so you can liberate yourself from it. What were the toxic things that you were told? Being able to see things from a higher perspective and sort of super analyze, what am I being told at home? Is it my current home, or is it my past home? Is it the home I was grown up in? And it is somehow, am I repeating or replicating, or have I replicated what I grew up in? Or am I trying to constantly replicate what I grew up in because I'm sort of addicted? I need that feeling. I'm not ready to grow beyond it. This is your relationship to, like I said, your value systems. And this week, being able to liberate yourself from the value systems that you were taught about or trained, versus the value systems that you like just the value systems that you've set yourself, liberating yourself from it, being able to, like the card says, if it's not backwards, sing your own song is what the card says. Seeing things from a distance, seeing things from another perspective, or getting away, maybe getting away from home. Is going to help you start to see that there's so much else that you could do with your life. There's so many different applications for who you are as a person. There are so many people who would nurture you in different ways. Maybe seeing or finding your home in a different setting, a setting of your choice. You could be, if you spend this week home contemplating these things, next week, travel. Get out there and travel. Go travel. Go to places that you haven't been. I know I said I started off stay at home, but I don't know. I hadn't really understood the cards yet. Travel. Get out there and travel. But the thing is this, traveling doesn't have to be done literally or in an expensive way, traveling can be done in just the way of you're starting to expand your mind and develop interest in things that you haven't developed for, or even just going to a different coffee shop or a different restaurant. There is a tendency toward overspending, trying to overcompensate who you are or how valuable you are based on how much you could spend, especially spending things to like make yourself look prettier when you don't fucking have to do that. So ultimately there's a sense of get a different perspective on your value. Get a different perspective on your value. For some of you, that might be going home and being reminded of just how much you're loved, and whatever bad relationship you just got out of, how it devalued you. Fuck that, right? Or fuck what your house, your home, your childhood family did to you or told you about yourself. If I look at it from a different perspective and look at, different ways of being beautiful around the world, or different value systems of people internationally, they're not all the same, and I don't have to stay where I started. It's just getting out of your current mindset and being able to see through the eyes of another is going to help you a lot right now, and it's going to help liberate you from it's just going to help liberate you from those self-defeating thoughts that unfortunately you may have accepted as truths. You'll start to see that the truth is based on our perspective. There is one truth, but humans rarely understand it. So the cards are confirming don't be at home. Okay, there you go. Now you know. Don't be at home. Get out there and travel. Get out there and explore. Because this Vesta in reverse is like surrounding by the campfire. The campfire, the home, the hearth, comfy. Get out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone is going to be very liberating for you this week. So there you go. Confirmation. I'm glad I keep going. More confirmation for Libra, please. This is luck is on your side, especially, what did I say, when that moon goes into Sagittarius. That's the luckiest time of the week for you. I think it's around, hold on. Oh yeah, I'm checking my books. The moon is in Sagittarius right now. So through Wednesday, really good aspects of the week for you. Luckiest then. And then it stays, through Tuesday or Wednesday. So it could be today or tomorrow you're seeing this video. A really lucky time for you to sort of open up and start to see things in a different way, or you can aim further, take your aim. Then the arrow will hit its mark later on in the week when Venus is sextile to Saturn. We have surrender to the divine, full moon. So either this is talking about a 30-day period, something is about to change, or a cycle is ending within the next 30 days. That's what I think, because it came out, I think, in the future. It could just very well be this full moon that just passed, which affected a lot of people. And it is basically saying, you're actually luckier than you think you are right now. You're just going through a lot of stuff internally that's making you feel very compromised. Externally, you're not as compromised as you are internally. So internally, getting yourself right. And what will help you do that is stepping outside of your comfort zone and looking for different opinions from what you've settled on is going to help you a great deal to basically get the confidence that you need to shoot for what you want. Luck is ultimately on your side this week. Libra. Don't trust friends. Oh, no. You're starting to see, stop. You're starting to see very clearly people who to trust and who to not trust. It's starting to become very evident to you that you can't trust what everybody wants. Because, you've heard this meme, right? There's a difference between somebody valuing you and somebody just wanting something that you have or valuing what you give to them. There's a difference, and you're starting to see very clearly the difference. There's a difference here. It probably is in friendship because that's what this card speaks to, but you can broaden that and definitely apply it to your own situation. But that is becoming very clear. Who actually values you and what's the difference between the person who actually values you and who values what you give them, because you're not just a fucking tool. This is somebody who is like starting to realize somebody really admires you, or starting to realize how people behave when they actually admire you, as opposed to just liking their association with you or liking what you bring to their world. This is interesting. I feel lost. There's a lot of that right now. This is beautiful. Okay, so I feel lost. So something's going to happen this week to surprise you, to kind of like set you off guard and say, wait, what? And it's not like lost, like literally lost. Though it could be associated with, I don't really know where I belong. Because the feeling of feeling lost is an indicator. Understand that as an indicator of, I'm really not where I belong, right? I may not know where I need to go, but you can at least draw solace and certainty from the fact that that is an indicator that you don't belong where you are. It doesn't feel right. When you feel lost, that's an indicator that you have to keep looking. You have to keep searching. You haven't actually found what you are looking for. Let's go to tarot to expand on that. The links are below. I'll see you guys there.